So here's a little interesting one that I have. There was a query on the the Microchip forum, and the question was around trying to get a PIC18 to come out of sleep with the UART. And I thought, well, that's a pretty simple thing to do. Look at the code and try to understand what the code was doing. So I thought in the end I'd just write my own to try to understand what was going on here. So I breadboarded it up and got it to work. So I'll just show you that briefly. But the code is here. Just sort of going a little bit. There's a bunch of config bits, of course, above here, but this is basically the code. Nothing really particularly clever here. And what happens is that every time a character is read, after it comes out of sleep, and it toggles a bit. So I'll just show you that. I've got it hooked up to a serial emulator here, which then goes in here, and I've got it plugged into the serial input of this PIC. So I've got it hooked up to a scope here, and I'll just send a few characters in here. See, if I just keep my finger on the button, you'll see that it every time I toggle it, there you go. Now, something interesting here that I can't fathom out, other than I suspect it's a documentation error or possibly a silicon bug. I'll leave it to you. But the thing that I found out was that I actually have to do some strange jiggery pokery here. I think I'll put some comments about here. Is that for it to come out of sleep, I'm not using any interrupts per se. I'm just using the interrupt mechanism which allows you to come out of sleep. So I don't actually enable global interrupts here or anything. It's they're always permanently disabled. What I noticed was that unexpectedly I seem to have the IPEN bit, which is just here, set, which enables the priority interrupts. There's two prioritized interrupts on the PIC18, and I can't see why this would make any difference if we're not actually using the interrupts themselves. You see, I've kind of just put NOPs in the interrupt code there, and they don't ever get called. And I looked at the logic here, which is on page 212 of the current data sheet, and I've looked at it, and you'll see here this is the thing which takes you out of sleep, and I can't for the life of me see why IPEN particularly makes any difference, unless of course you're coming through this route. But if you're coming through this route here, you should be able to, if you've set your IPR on the particular interrupt to be 1, this should go straight through here without having to adjust the IPEN bit at all. But it should come out of sleep straight away without any IPEN bit. But it seems to be whether or not you've got it set to 1, which is this here, or set to 0, which is this route here. You always seem to have this IPEN bit set, which is just bizarre. This doesn't add up for this diagram here. So anyway, I'll just publish my code and everything on this video, and we'll see if there are any comments on that. Thank you for watching.